Just wanted to make a quick video on this machine because I didn't have time yesterday. By the time I was done with it, it was dark. Picked this machine up free about, I don't know, 10 days ago. It's not a GT5000. It's disguised as one because it uses the same hood. But it is a DYT4000 from 2003. It is a higher end unit. Hydro, electric PTO, 48-inch cut. And basically same otherwise. It's got the clock on it, voltmeter, independent choke. I think, okay, what else before I get into it? Oh yeah, the 12 gauge heavy duty deck with the 4 anti-scalps. All four tubes are, all 4 tires are already tubed. I think these 2 were replaced in the back. It's got, I believe that's a 3.5 gallon capacity tank on these. Similar to the GT5000, although that's a garden tractor. It would have had the hubs and the even bigger transmission, and usually a 54-inch deck. Okay. Yeah, got it off a guy, and he bought it originally off of whoever this person is that sells stuff. Don't recommend buying anything off of that person because they hacked this thing up. Issues I had with this machine off the gate when I got it here. It started, ran kind of crappy, but as soon as you went to put it in drive or turn a deck, it would kill it. Guy had hacked up the wiring, so because this is not the original engine. This is a said 19 horsepower twin, but it's the same 694 cc twin, horizontally opposed L head, better engines, but he still had the original connector for the old style harness hooked up to this, not the newer style where it's white and it has 6 prongs. So he had it where only the red one, which is the DC, was hooked up. Orange one wasn't even hooked up inside the spaghetti of a mess he made. And then, so it wasn't wired right, which I don't even understand that, because all he had to do was, when you drop this new engine in, was take the pigtail from the original engine and throw it on here. So I don't even understand why that was done. Then I found out today one of the final problems, because I was getting ready to change fuel lines because there was a section that was bad. But I opened this back up, and the ignition coil on these, which is 1 unit with 2 wires coming off of it, was on backwards. So it had spark, but it was really difficult to get it to start. And then once you did start it, it ran kind of crappy. Once you kicked the blades on, it would run perfect, but it was so difficult to start. Turn that coil around, now it starts right up perfect. Okay, so I don't know if that had been done after, if somebody replaced the coil, or if the guy who sold it did that. But I have seen that done before, because the way that coil is made, it looks like these leads are supposed to come directly straight from it. They don't. I have a picture of it, but they actually do come around behind it on there. So that was on backwards. So it was flooding, it was having difficulty starting, smoking, running, kind of sputter like it needed a carb clean, like it was just all kinds of weird stuff. But like I said, I did see that before, and now, hang on a second. So he had it hacked up where the original key switch was missing. There was a big hole here where this original key switch went. He had drilled a hole and put an older style key switch on. So that was wrong. The clock wasn't hooked up. Wrong. This isn't even, I don't even think this is the right one. The correct key switch would have had the 4th position for mode reverse. This is for the light switch when the engine's on now. Choke was binding a little bit. I adjusted it. It's working good now. It's got a new fuel filter. There was a little bit old fuel still in the tank. I had to pop this off, this pan off, pop the tank, drain it, flush it, fresh gas. Good. I had to adjust the shifter slightly. In neutral, it did want to crawl. I believe it was forward. Just the bolt under here you loosen, and then that whole thing swings on an arm, and then you get it right. Other than that, I touched up the deck, a little bit of the black. Blades were already good still. I'm not messing with them. These anti-scalps are set too low. They're not supposed to hit the ground when you're mowing. They're made to where you get to a high spot, they're just high enough that they will stop the deck from hitting. They're not supposed to be actually rolling on the ground with the deck when you cut. So now I think they're set just about right. These ones, you know, the front ones get to be a little bit higher, set higher than the back, because the deck's supposed to be slightly down up front. Clean it up real good. These foot rest areas, the metal around here started to flake off. Common on these. I scraped it off, sanded it, touched that up. From distance you can't even tell. And oil change. Spark plugs were good. Air filter was good. Like I said, fresh gas. Battery's still good. Fuel line was a little iffy. I did get rid of a section of it with new. Put a fuel filter on, new fuel filter. And seat had a couple cracks in it. I did my little thing where I fixed it without tape. After sitting on it a few times, you can kind of see it again. If I was to add more, I would cover it completely. But other than that, the only other thing I haven't done yet to it is the one other thing is this engine with the electric PTO is supposed to have a higher voltage stator. It's 2 blacks. Some of the newer ones might be 2 yellow. This is a dual circuit where it's like, I think it's 5 amp DC and I think 12 AC. It's supposed to be just a 10 to 16 DC. I have one at the garage with the regulator it has to go with. It needs a regulator that would volt right here. And what that does is it supplies higher voltage, because when you start this, right, without the PTO and the deck on, it charges it. When you turn the electric PTO on, it starts to drain the battery. But it has not drained it to the point that it cut the deck off. So I'm up in the air yet whether or not I'm gonna bother with it, because it's buried under like 10 engines and it's gonna be a real pain to get to. We'll see, I don't know yet. So that's the one other thing I may have to do if the deck kicks off. If it doesn't kick off, I'm not gonna worry about it, because as soon as you turn the deck back off, it starts charging it up again. It's just discharging when the deck's on. I've seen it get down to 12. No lower than that. But if it gets down low enough and it does kick that deck off, then I'm gonna have to put on the correct stator and regulator. So he didn't even have that on. So the guy, whoever had this machine, would have been mowing, and by the time it was done, the battery would have been dead and needed charging again. Unless he's kept it running long enough for it to charge back up on its own before he shut it off. So that's the one other thing I might still have to do. The lights didn't work either. They weren't hooked up, like I said, so that's what I ended up doing. I ended up running where the guy drilled a hole with the key switch. I've got the lights on now. And the clock works. As soon as you turn the key, you start hearing it tick. Especially, definitely when it's running. but I'm pretty sure you can hear it tick even right now. Let me say, oh, I know why it's not. Is this, yeah, hold on, let me listen. That's weird. Before I heard it ticking with the key in the on position. Yeah, I think I just heard it. I don't know, but either way, it definitely works when it's on. So, yeah, luckily I had another harness, because I have a couple of these harnesses. So I had another harness that was intact. So that helped me a lot, because it told me, you know, where it had this to, so I knew where to hook this up. And then, you know, all this was already still together. So I knew the two reds went to the voltage regulator, the plug for the PTO, which also runs to the ignition key switch. All those wires were intact. The wires that run down the solenoid, the one that runs to the PTO, the fuse, the trigger wire, so when you turn the key, the wires for the headlight, they were all pretty much there. I just had to, it was a couple small things I had to do to make it work. Like the one thing is, before, it didn't want to start with the brake pedal down. It wanted to start with the brake pedal up. I had to flip the plug that goes into the safety switch. It reversed it. The seat one, it worked, but it wouldn't let you run it not on it. You're supposed to be able to run the machine with the deck off when you get out the seat. It was killing it when you get out the seat. So I just did the thing where you get rid of the springs and then the switch is always on the seat, which is okay. As long as you got the brake one, you're good. Because that was annoying to me, especially having the problems with the engine not having trouble starting, and then it was killing the battery, and then trying to figure out the wiring. I need to be able to get off the thing. So that's the only one that's not hooked up. So if I hook it up, it'll work, but it won't let you get off the thing when it's running. Otherwise, it will work. It would cut off, you know, for other reasons. So I could always hook it back up, but then you had to be on the thing. You can't lower down the throttle and get off. I don't like that. And so yeah, those are the only two things, right? The seat safety, and then, like I said, might need the larger voltage regulator. If the deck doesn't cut off, I'm not worrying about it. Let's start it now. Runs good though. Starts right up. I might need choke now. Let's see. Runs strong. Clock should be working now. Let's see if it does. I want to know if that clock's still working. Should be. See, right now it's charging. It's in the positive. When I kick the blades isn't working again. It probably got disconnected. When I end the video, I'll check, make sure those things are connected well, and it's not shorting anywhere, because that clock was working. So it's not a big deal, but and it's not accurate anymore anyway, because it only has 132 hours, 32.2 hours, and I don't know if the original engine blew up at only 132.2. I mean, it probably is about 130. I probably put about at least an hour runtime on it, so it was at probably like 131 something. So I don't know what happened to the original engine. Maybe they didn't change oil, it blew, and they had to put another engine on. Because it doesn't make sense to me that they'd be that low, even with the original engine, like that low. But I guess, you let it go 132 hours without changing the oil and checking the oil. That's enough time for it to blow. So I don't know when this engine was put on, but it wasn't hooked up since. So it could be 500 hours. So it's not accurate anyway. The only thing you could use it for is if you wanted to know maintenance intervals. 25 hours this, 50 hours this, 100 hours that. That's it. So I'll see if I can get that to turn back on again. I should be able to, but otherwise it's good. So other than that, it's good. It's a good tractor. It's a good machine overall. So I'm going to see if I can get the clock to turn back on now and then mow with it a little bit. So that's the story on that one. Disguised GT5000, actual 2003 DLT4000. Would have originally had a 22 horsepower Briggs V-twin Intech. I think that was 694cc. It may have been the 724. I don't know. I can't remember. This one now has it's a 99, I think. 20 horsepower opposed twin. 694cc, definitely. So basically same power, better engine. So that's good. All right. Later.